me, Mario.
And we are off here.
Nice little early pseudo lead for Zeus here, playing on Japanese emulator versus Virtual Console, but Virtual Console tends to make up quite a bit of time throughout the run due to loads and other things. I used to run on VC, and as soon as I switched to console, I was like, oh, that's lag. I thought my game was about to crash. It's so... you gotta know the lag reductions, and that's one of the big, huge parts of the run.
Zeus, nice lack skip. We'll see if Gman can match it here. Also hitting the trick.
The double. Ooh, Zeus going for the LBLJ. Big route difference here already between the two.
Yeah, and I mean, we're not... Oh, Zeus actually messing up his first try LBLJ.
He's gonna need to get it within probably maybe 4 or 5 tries to save time with it. So even this here is still a big time save. Oh no!
Oh.
Well,
alright.
different route.
Very different route, yes.
Gman
Gman
is
having some trouble with the bomb clip here, even getting chomped a little bit, but...
looks like he got the pillar down, but both runners showing some first game nerves a little bit in different ways with their significantly different routes, so makes us, you know, we have a lot to think about going forward here. What's gonna happen?
Yeah, exactly. And now the thing about Zeus here is, because you require 3 stars to open the CCM doors, you're gonna have to enter the stage and save and exit just to get back into the lobby of the castle, because you do not get 3 stars in CCM here, so...
Yeah, I mean, you could, but it just would lose a lot of time to go in the thing and do the slide, or... What would be the fastest? The slide would be the fastest.
Slide, yeah.
Yeah, and that's definitely not a fast star.
So, again, I mean, even with, like, the LBLJ route difference, we're not gonna see a lead of any sort emerge until basement, so... It'll be interesting to see what happens, and there's the save and quit I mentioned, and he's just gonna go back in for his LBLJ into Dark World now.
And a textbook cannonless from Gman. Standard setup, and it went pretty much perfectly. It looked like he hit all the requirements. And there it is, LBLJ. That makes up for that little mistake earlier. I don't know how much he'll save, but we'll find out when they get to basement together.
Yeah, I mean, another stage re-entry is pretty significant, I would say. I mean, like I said, we're really not gonna know for a long time, but... He's looking to pull out a pretty fast Dark World Reds here. Amp's being a little awkward for him. I'm not sure if he's gonna catch the fastest cycle.
Good roll out there, though. Good backup. I think that was that Shigeru, or was that normal?
I think that was Shig, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh! Taking an awkward fall
Oh,
as
no!
he's trying to get the red coin there. That's a very thin ledge. If your rollout has low speed or anything like that, then it's very easy to fall off there. And a very significant time loss that late in the stage.
Yeah, that's gigantic. That definitely, I would say, gives the lead to Gman at this point. But I mean, it's all subjective until you find out, you know, when they merge their routes down by HMC or Lethal Lava Land. But
yeah, and especially with that second death there, like Gman, I would say is pretty convincingly, to me anyway, in the lead. We're not gonna have numbers on that for a little while, as we've been mentioning, but now Zeus maybe feeling a bit mentally drained, not able to recompose himself through this Dark World movement.
He's got to get something going that he can feel good about, because not only is this game not over, but you wanna give yourself something good good vibes going into game 2. Like, whether that be hitting some good strats in basement, or, you know, but you got to get there, and looks like Zeus is going to this time.
Yeah. but keeping your mental state in a good place throughout all 3 races, or at least 2, is going to be very important for both these runners, of course, but Zeus is particularly in a precarious spot, both mentally and in terms of the timing of the race. Gman now going to be entering Cool Mountain for his 2 stars.
Yeah, the funny thing is, I almost feel like Zeus isn't as far behind as we think. Just something about, you know, G-Man's still got to do 2 stars and Dark World. Zeus, I think, only has to do, like, 1 more before he goes to basement, depending on what he does. I'm assuming he does Plus, but...
Yeah, he has not visited Womp's Fortress yet, so...
Technically, I don't think he has to. There's enough backups in the basement, but he probably... At this point, he probably would be better off going straight to basement. But no, he's gonna go to Womp's. Hopefully he gets multiple stars there, because there's a couple quick ones.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's gonna try to stick to the same star route, just with the awkward early CCM visit. As we see G-Man going for his 8th star before entering Dark World.
Yeah, this... Basically, when you play on VC, you're gonna see the English version, and the English version with the Penguin star, the star spawns a little bit further away from the Penguin, which can be awkward, especially for long-time Japanese version runners having to switch to English for, say, 70 star or something.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of a positional thing as you're sliding down the hill. Something to be aware of for sure, as Zeus enters the basement now after getting a lone star in Womp's Fortress, being Wild Blue.
I'm wondering if it would have been faster to do... Oh no, he did Wild Blue. Okay, maybe like if he did Owless or something, that would have been pretty fast. But as long as you have 4 going into basement, I think you're pretty much on the fastest route for LBLJ. 4 is the standard. Oh.
Missed Pillarless now. That's not going to cost him too much time. He's able to go for a backup here with Shining atop the P. Oh, he's going to go for the Talon backup. Much safer, of course. Actually. In reality, because Talon is more easily messed up, and he actually gets a pretty swaggy jump right into the star. That was pretty cool to see.
It was a great backup. The whole thing, pretty much. I mean, he hit it. He got the bounce off the Talon, carried him over the other side of the pyramid, and slid right down, and then landed on the star with speed. Like, that's good.
Yeah, pretty textbook, I would say, in terms of backups go. But he's going to miss Pillarless again now. He has 1 more backup star here with Shining atop the pyramid, as I mentioned improperly earlier. But now if he misses it again, that's going to be a pretty major time loss that we don't want to see from him at all.
Does he go for it? He's got other backups if he's worried about it. He's going.
Alright, his last chance here. Gets the big bomb.
Tamaples. Looking good.
And
Textbook.
he's in.
That was a beautiful Tamaples there.
Yeah, that
Definitely.
really was.
Third try, it's still pretty first try, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't have to back it up twice, but again, that's not a major time loss in the grand scheme of things. And again, we don't have numbers on the lead right now, but it's the small things that can add up. But overall, with all of the mistakes that we've seen him make, it's good to not see him have to respawn the Bob-omb or anything like that, so.
It's crazy how much LBLJ route saves time. Like, Zeus is, like, just barely behind. I mean, not barely, but, like, I mean, he lost probably a minute in Dark World, but the fact that the route still saved so much time, star count-wise, they're going to be pretty close together for a while here.
Yeah, I mean, depending on the speed of Zeus's LLL stars, which can cause a little bit of trouble. As I say that, the logless triple jump wall kick not treating him well, he's going to be able to reposition, and that looks to be much better, and there it is.
Yeah, I can't believe that first one didn't work. I knew it wasn't a textbook setup, but it looked like the triple jump was good. Maybe the wall kick was like 5th frame or something, 4th frame, a little lower. The nice thing about an OLBLJ route is that stars at G-Man has to do in basement. They're all very quick and easy compared to some of the stars like Lava Boost here Zeus is doing, and takes a big fall there. That's not good.
Yeah, not even necessarily messing up the boost part, but just that movement on the pole platforms off after. Very awkward, and Zeus kind of showing that off a little bit of mishaps going on there. Nice jump dive rollout into the star, though. I've seen that messed up in races a couple of times, so it's good to see him be able to get that back up, even if it is a little slow.
Yeah, a lot of the hard stuff just seems like it's coming easy to Zeus. Just some of like I mean, everything's hard. The movement to the star is hard. The lava boost is hard, but like, Zeus is pretty much warming up at the very least. That's what we needed to see, is like a lot of these like little W's throughout the run and Zeus is still in it, but it's also good for game 2 as well.
Yeah, exactly. If we're seeing a little bit of a mental reset here, perhaps even if he takes the L on this race, it'll be good to see what he can do, perhaps pull through and correct a lot of his mistakes that he's seen this run so far. Both runners heading into Hazy Maze Cave now.
Yeah, Hazy Maze Cave. Oh, Zeus is going for the C up slide here. Saves like a couple tenths of a second, I think, optimally, and that was... No, he missed the ground pound, but still pretty good. Pretty swag. Looked awesome to me.
Indeed. Gman opting for some simple long jumps across the gap, does not lose much time at all, just perhaps a little bit less swaggy for the CoolCatGang content, but Gman gonna be heading out of HMC now very, very shortly.
11:47, that looks like, it might be PB pace for Gman, it's hard to tell. Depends how good the end game is.
Why?
Oh no!
Yeah, he accidentally re-entered, the 16th star is in DDD.
Yeah, G-Man, I don't know if that was intentional, or sometimes you can fall in if you try to do the double jump over the pit with the kick, but...
Yeah, and even now messing up the MIPS grab a little bit. This is offering a fairly big opportunity for Zeus to kind of make up some time here. And as we mentioned, the race is not over. Even if Zeus has had some pretty significant mishaps in the early game, this is where the 16th star run truly starts, in my opinion.
Yeah, this is not like like some speedruns, it's like, oh, if you have a 30-second lead going into the final 2 splits, you're pretty much set, but this means that this is 16 star. It's sometimes just hard to execute the 16 star things, like MIPS clip, and especially the BLJs, and obviously the Bowser throws, you'll lose 15 seconds sometimes on one Bowser throw.
Yeah,
Look at this. Look at how close it is now.
Yeah, I mean, this is where 16 star becomes 16 star, truly. G-Man entering his dire docks now with not as big as of a time lead as we would have liked to see for him. Zeus going to be going for, this looks like a double jump wall kick setup. Not going to hit it though.
It's a great strat if it works, and if you go at the right angle and you have confidence, it's usually pretty consistent. But when it fails, it's very tricky to back it up because their camera's going to be all over the place, and you have to line it up at that point.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit too perpendicular to the wall, if I had to guess. Where exactly went wrong? A chip clip, a successful from Zeus.
That's really good. That saves... How much did that save? Like 2 seconds? 3?
2, I think, yeah.
2.
Not lining up for a front sub, though. Gonna play it a little bit safer here, which is not going to be an issue. G-Man did not either as well. And we saw G-Man practicing some early cycle before the race, and this can be huge. This saves 12 seconds depending on like ledge grab list, so...
Pretty low on the
pole grab, yeah. If he gets good wall kicks and good movement over to the elevators, then he should be okay. But it'll be tight with a ledge grab.
Needs the wall kick. Oh, that's clutch.
Beautiful. So again, not saving all of the time. And Zeus, I wasn't looking, but I think he may have gone for the pole glitch and didn't hit it. Either way, some unorthodox movement.
Yeah, Zeus might have a hard time catching the early cycle. Okay, no, he still got there in plenty of time. I thought he missed it twice, but no, he's there. But still, that's a huge difference.
Yeah, no, he's gotten the normal cycle now, and that's going to be a 10-second time loss, I believe, somewhere around there. Because even then, catching the normal cycle, he didn't have super optimal movement getting up onto the platform with a fancy wall kick or anything, but G-Man actually missing a throw, and this is the most costly throw in the game because you've got to wait for Bowser to tilt the stage and all of that, so if Zeus hits it first try, we're going to see a pretty...
Yeah, that's a big mistake from G-Man. That makes up for the, oh no, and a second miss throw!
Massive mistake from G-Man. We're going to see a bit of a lead swap here for Zeus. He's going to hit the bomb, and now Zeus is in the... Oh my... We've seen a death from G-Man now in the Fire Sea fight.
It's definitely not the ideal scenario on G-Man's side. This is why this throw can... It's supposed to be the easiest, but it can really get you in races with nerves and stuff like that, because if you miss it, you know you're losing the most time, and then you have to wait for him to, respawn and stuff. It's not ideal.
Yeah, this is going to be an incredible lead for Zeus now. Very significant, and especially coming back from all of the issues that we've seen earlier in his game. I don't know if he's watching, but if he's watching, he knows it's go time.
And there's the biggest 50-star door, first try. That's like the biggest hurdle at this point, besides Bowser throws.
Mario knows it's go time as well. Getting his booty up the stairs very quickly. Infinite Staircase BLJ gonna be pretty kind to him as well.
Yeah, that looked pretty good. He got a little bit stuck, but it wasn't too bad. He still got pretty close to the hole. He didn't have to like run the rest of the distance.
Yeah. G-Man gonna try to match that 50-star BLJ is not gonna have enough speed, unfortunately.
Zeus going all out here.
A moving right side triple jump wall kick, and he hits it. Beautiful. And that's the kind of thing that you were mentioning earlier, is seeing some high-octane gaming, perhaps, and that's indicative to me of a mental reset and the ability to play the game, and he knows he's ready.
Yeah, exactly. It's at the point where I'm not sure if Zeus knows that he had a lead, but at that point he's just trying to play his game. He doesn't want to think too hard about it. He knows he's, you got a 15, you definitely can hit moving right side, despite the risk, and textbook. Let's see if he can hit the throws.
Gman, meanwhile, pretty fast Infinite Staircase BLJ, but I don't think it's going to be enough here. Zeus hits his third throw, and that's going to be a Game 1 win from Zeus, even after 2 deaths in Dark World and a BLJ into CCM. Quite an interesting and unorthodox race, for sure, but it was exciting to watch and really cool to see him kind of come back and take the win here in race 1.
Yeah, that's what earlier I was saying. Either way, you gotta try, because there's, you either get that mental reset or that confidence going for game 2, or, if, something like a death in Fire Sea happens, you get yourself, a W. So, it is best case scenario for Zeus here, but G-Man not out of it yet. This is a best of 3, so here we go.
Yeah, Zeus, I'm sure now looking at the results of this race, surely a little bit shocked. But perhaps this is a confidence booster for him. I mean, if he's getting an 18:02, I mean, a minute and 20 seconds, give or take, off his PB, or rather 2 minutes, and still taking a win here, I mean, that's gotta feel good for him. G-Man here looking at hopefully a sub 20 if he hits some throws here.
The thing with, I've been in a lot of these tournaments. The thing with getting the Game 1 win, that alone is important, but if you can get a win in any game where you're way off your PB, then you think, okay, well, if I play, now I'm ready, now I'm warmed up, I have a good chance going into the next game. And Game 1 obviously being, the first one, it really can help you with a confidence booster. So Zeus really has both of those things going for him now.
Very strong advantage, both just numbers-wise and mentally, so I mean, again, anything can happen. I mean, if he's still a little shook from those mistakes, regardless of the outcome of the race, then we could see some similar mistakes. But again, I don't think it's gonna matter too much. And he's certainly warmed up now, so we're gonna see what happens. GG's, of course, for Zeus on race 1, as well as G-Man finishing out now with a 20.04.
GG's, and it'll be interesting to see. I'm assuming I'm pretty much based on the way Zeus is talking in chat. We're gonna see LBLJ again. That could be a gigantic lead, basically right off the bat. But it could also be, we saw some struggles with it in this race, so that could also be the X factor that gives G-Man the advantage going into game 2. Shoutouts to Urban Arts, by the way. You want to say something about Urban Arts Dryblocks? Dryblocks.
I love Urban Arts. So, of course, they're a program that supports students in lower income communities, trying to get them into colleges with careers in game design, game art. And it's a great program, and they've supported CoolCatGang for quite a long time now. They've provided prize pools and things like that. So it's really nice to see them in here still supporting us. We've run donations and fundraisers for them, so we have a strong relationship with them, and it'd be great if you guys could go check them out. Great program.
Not to mention, if you're a student in the city area as well, the students from the program have, what was it? I believe it was like a 90-something% acceptance rate into college. I think the number was 94, but it might have been even higher than that. So it's a very good program, very successful program for a lot of different kids from a lot of different backgrounds. It's up to, actually, it's a perfect 100%. My bad. Yeah, that's pretty good. Can't get any better than that.
Now we can kick it up to 101.
It's always the next step. 101.
That it is. Alright, we're going to be getting started on our next race very shortly here. Not too much of a break for these runners. They're feeling ready.
See if did they count down yet? It looks like they already counted down, so yeah.
It's me, Mario.
Yeah, here we go. And you will need the classic controller if you're on G-Man's side.
Alright, heading into race 2 here, it's going to be important to look out for small optimizations that Zeus goes for, because as I mentioned before with things like moving right side, stuff that doesn't seem like it'll save a lot, but just looks really cool, that to me signifies that he's in a good mental place and ready to play the game fast. So
yeah,
if we're looking at him in top form, he takes the race. Like,
definitely. I mean, just the route alone saves like 45 seconds potentially, I think, something like that. G-Man missing Lakitu skip with the ledge grab, so that's about 8 to 9 seconds right there, depending on how he gets his speed back. That's clean from Zeus.
Already, first try LBLJ. He's back in it. And that's going to be a very significant early game time save from Zeus compared to G-Man, just from that first LBLJ as well as the Lakitu skip over G-Man.
No trouble getting the bomb here, but gets a big bomb, so that's fast. So much better than having to take the pull like game 1.
Zeus unfortunately getting amped there twice. Not going to be quite hitting the cycle that he wanted to, but I'll be moving on quickly just the same.
Ooh, almost fell there again. Had to take the ledge grab. Oh, okay. Didn't die there again, but it was close.
Yeah, depending on where you, not bonk, but where you will kind of lose your speed knocking into that wall on your rollout, it can kind of cause a death there if it's on the ceiling above the death, but he just a little too far left as opposed to forward, so he's okay. We're going to see another full setup cannonless here from Gman.
Looked good, but maybe something with that last little camera shake didn't quite do what it needed to do. With cannonless, it doesn't seem like anything's like 100% consistent. That's why I strongly recommend to learn texture setup, because it feels like when you get texture setup down, it feels like it's just as consistent as full setup. And my mindset is if you're gonna screw it up because it's cannonless, you know, and it just everybody screws it up, you might as well go for like a faster setup. But a lot of people still have pretty good consistency with this. See if Gman can back it up. Huh.
A second time. Now that's pretty major, because now he has to go back it up by climbing back up, and this even is a pretty slow backup compared to some others. Whether it's going up the red coin slope or going up and going for the ground pound on the gray bridge, but he's having a little bit of trouble now. I think he used the plank push for an even more consistent setup, and he should be able to hit it here, but this is going to be a major, major time loss.
Yeah, that last one had the better... Oh, Zeus missing cannonless. The other setup. I think he went for texture. So, cannonless being a bit of a pain, that's pretty much standard. Apparently, it's only like 27 to 30 seconds time save doing LBLJ. I know that G-Man's not doing the fastest no LBLJ stars though, so it might end up being closer to like 35, 40, but either way, you're gonna want to see some consistency on G-Man's side to make up for the lack of the route that G-Man's doing. Ooh. Double jump Owless. It's not gonna quite get there. I think he's too far left, maybe not enough speed. I wouldn't know, I've never hit it once in my life.
Yeah. It's a very awkward strat for sure, and he's going to be going for the triple jump back up. And even not hitting that, his triple jump positioning a little bit awkward there. I mean, if you're not really intimately familiar with it, then it can get really hard really fast, but...
I know this was like 2 years ago, but I remember like even 2 years ago, Cheese saying like, that's like top 5 hardest stars to do in the game consistently. And this is Cheese, I mean, this is the GOAT we're talking about here.
Yeah.
The Owless is just one of those things that innately, if like people didn't practice it so much, people probably wouldn't get consistent at it. G-Man here taking the Owl, which is the standard strat for the intended strat.
Yeah, exactly. No matter what strat you would do with Owless, it's very, very nuanced, and there's some minute movements and how long you have to hold certain directions on the control stick for. It's very feel-based, and that's why it's hard. Because a lot of things in this game are very textbook and written out. As I say that, Zeus getting a little bit of an awkward plus here, but is able to make it in regardless.
Yeah, again, another very shaky run from Zeus, but this one, I feel like he's definitely got the lead here by a significant margin, not an unsurmountable margin, though, for this category. So it is interesting. Oh, G-Man, not quite getting good angle there.
Yeah, again, a little awkward angle here. I mean, that can be really tough to try to get the right wall jump angle, especially depending on the camera there. The camera was in a weird spot, at least for me personally.
Plus the notches, I'm assuming G-Man's using a GameCube controller for Virtual Console, and the notches are a little bit different. Although I'm assuming G-Man's probably used to it by now, but sometimes you'll see like certain mid-air angles like not work the same way on a standard OEM controller. very small like technical thing, but I've noticed that difference since I've switched setups.
Oh, for sure, it definitely matters, especially if you're familiar with both, and even like setups are made using N64 angles, so it can become an issue if you're trying to learn the game on PC. But regardless, G-Man gonna be moving into his dark world as we see Zeus doing his red coins and lethal lava land. Shouldn't cause too much of an issue for him.
Here we go.
Yeah, it's G-Man's still got to do Dark World Reds. Takes a burn, misses the red. Gonna have to hurry here to make sure he doesn't lose the platform security.
Yeah, he'll be okay. No, he won't be okay.
And we can't even say commentator's curse because I feel like he already had gotten burnt before you even said that.
Yeah.
It's tough. I feel like that's one of the harder red coins in the stage out of the 8 to grab.
It really is. It's very tight, especially like depending on how you exactly grab that, and if you haven't grabbed it at the very beginning, it's with that burn backup, it can kind of throw a lot off. It's not what you like to see. Now we'll see Zeus here going for his lava boost in the volcano now.
I feel like the general sentiment is that when you're first learning the game, the most important star that like if you have emulator, your first save state should be Dark World Reds. Like that's the one that you need to really grind to get used to the game.
It is. It teaches you so much. I mean, cycles and wall kicks and everything is very, very nuanced in this stage. In my opinion, it's the hardest in the game. Just in terms of overall movement, technicality, there's so many ways to do it. Thank you, Waterman, for the sub, of course.
Yeah, shout out to Jay Waterman. This race is for you. See how it goes. It's a bit of a lead here for Zeus, but that's mainly because the route. G-Man's not doing too poorly. Not doing too bad at all. So it's definitely still close enough.
We're gonna see Zeus here entering Hazy Maze Cave here. We're gonna see what stars he pulls out. First off, going for the GTM or C-up slide.
Oh, how do you back it up? Not like that. He does.
Alright, so the bat helps him out a significant amount. They're able to bop him back up onto the slidable slope.
Zeus saying, "Oh my god," in the chat because the bat just saved his life.
Yeah, that's incredible. That C-up slide, if you mess it up and don't get enough speed, it's very, very hard to back it up. I mean, there's a clip out there of GTM doing his own strat in a race and getting an insane backup, but nothing like that with the bat knocking Zeus back up there. You love to see it, and he just triple jumps into amazing exit to fix it, and he rectifies the issue, going for Rolling Rocks this time as well, and gets the instant rollout into a star as well.
It's important. He has to grab Toad here. He hasn't grabbed Toad. I don't think he's grabbed Toad yet. If he doesn't grab... Okay. Because if you don't grab Toad, if you grab Toad as the 15th star, it's not going to spawn MIPS, so then you lose time having to re-enter one of the worlds and then, like, dying.
Yeah, essentially what G-Man did at the in last race, but he was not necessary for him. But it's what you would see.
Triple box jump.
Triple, yeah. That's a lot harder than it looks, just having to maneuver yourself out of bounds, avoiding the death planes and things like that. It's a lot more awkward than it looks.
Not sure if Zeus can... That would look like I think it was an 11-0 something HMC. Assuming he plays really well, I think he could probably still get a 15 with this, but definitely low 16 potential. Oh.
Lots of issues grabbing the rabbit. Very greasy today. Lubed up a little bit, perhaps some olive oil or peanut oil if you're that kind of guy, but either way, very slippery, not able to be grabbed for quite a while.
It's the kind of mistakes that you see in 16-star. They add up to where even a 3-star lead, or essentially like a 2.5-star, because G-Man just has to grab Toad and 2 quick ones, but that's, you know, those kind of mistakes can really keep a race where it seems like it's out of reach, definitely in reach. Like game 1, we saw a big lead change there, a couple times.
Yeah, I mean, it's 16 star. Like, no matter what level of gameplay you're at, you are playing 16 star, and you have to remember that. And we as commentators and viewers have to remember that, you know?
Yeah, even like I think it was the big simp tourney, one of the ones that I participated in, but Ouija was the #1 seed, and I think he lost his first round after the bye because it's 16 star. You know, it's Mario 64. Like, even the best players in the world can run into some problems and have a hard time escaping them.
Now, Zeus here actually lining up on the left side of this tunnel, and he's going for the front sub. This is a departure from what we saw in the last race. So again, that indicates to me confidence, and the confidence pays off, and he's into the star, and he's going to be moving into his Fire Sea.
I think it's a little easier on EMU too, because you can take like a little bit, like the camera angle isn't as important for lag and stuff as you approach the sub, but pretty much everything else is just as difficult, so big props there to Zeus doing his thing, going for the front sub.
This is the pole glitch, as well as the backup here, going to be having a similar cycle issue to his first race.
Yeah, he's gonna miss the early cycle for sure. That's gonna, if Gman gets the early cycle like last time, that's a good 10 seconds potentially. Gman can make up. Zeus trying to do the quick side flip there, but no flip.
No, that's a couple seconds lost. I mean, and those are the small things that can matter, really. We're gonna see how his throws goes, though, or his throw rather goes.
Yeah, this is definitely not one you want to miss. But it does look like, surprisingly, Zeus still has quite a big lead. Pretty much 3/4 of Fire Sea and all of Dire Docks. You can make that up in 16 star, but that's still quite a bit.
And with the throw hit, it's gonna be very, very hard for Gman to come back. Still on pace for a 16, thank you DVS, wonderful restreamer. The backup here. Got a lot.
Definitely. Always devious awesome, but this run from Zeus is pretty awesome too. Looks like definitely 16 4x pace if, you know, BLJs and throws all connect first try.
Yeah, I mean, it's the LBLJ, no LBLJ route difference at the end of the day. I mean, and it is 16 star, and I know we've been saying that all day, but the route difference is just so major, and Gman missing his early cycle at this point. But the
It is
route
incredibly
difference is so huge.
It is so hard. I used to try to run, before I knew LBLJ, like years ago, I would run no LBLJ route against an LBLJ runner, and I would just almost morally, the morale is really hard to build because it's so hard running that route versus an LBLJ route, and like knowing like, well, I'm probably gonna lose, but hey, at least I can play consistently and finish with a time that's close to my PB. But
yeah, exactly.
It's a fun category to do. You've seen a lot of improvements in the no LBLJ world record in the last couple years.
Yeah, I mean, I think the last tournament I played in, my first race was against Zion, and well, we all know how that went. Very skilled runner, of course. But we're gonna see Gman hit the Fire Sea throw at this point as Zeus goes into his throws of Bowser in the sky. Gonna be looking like a very solid lead, and still 16able as well.
Definitely needs to hit all 3 for the 16, but should have some time to spare. That might be the spare, though. That's missing the I definitely still got a 16 with this.
Third throw, not quite gonna connect.
Oh no! It looked like he just didn't quite have enough speed to get it to the bomb, or maybe just a little off.
Very far. You needed to hit it spot on if you wanted Bowser to bounce over into that. It can be very difficult sometimes, but
Still might be a 16 according to our timer.
yeah,
Funny hint. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. 59.
GG.
Yeah, GG's in the chat indeed for Zeus taking a very convincing 2-0 over his group stage match in Gman, and he will actually be finishing his group C with 3 wins. So very impressive showing for Zeus, and I'll expect to see him continue this performance in the bracket stage, of course.
I feel like Zeus did get away with a lot of mistakes, but hit a lot of like pretty cool things as well. I feel like Zeus is looking good for his next match, confidence-wise.
Indeed, and I mean, we got the content. That first race was truly insane. I mean, that Death and Fire Sea from G-Man was put the nail in the coffin, so to speak.
I'm looking like a sub 20 from G-Man still. Most likely. Commentator's curse.
Didn't hit the triple jump dive on that last block both times. I'm not sure if he doesn't know about it or just a little bit of unlucky timing, but
It just looked like he was playing one of the jumps a little too safe, which set him up to where he couldn't quite get the triple jump off.
Overboy
Yes.
has a 16, dude? Holy, I gotta get back on this category.
What's that? Who got a 16?
Overboy.
Oh, wow. GG's. I'd like to do a lot of this game this summer. Spring, summer, whatever time of the year it is.
Fall and winter is my SM64 grind time.
It's probably better, actually. Maybe I should just push it off 6 months.
Yeah.
Ooh, a little early on the Bowser throw. It's hard with the lag, too. I don't... Even on VC, I feel like... probably no lag on VC, actually. That's right. Let's see if we get anybody for interviews. With G-Man hitting the throw.
Yeah, we are gonna see a very solid sub 20 from G-Man in 1939, a late 1939. Zeus gonna be hopping in for an interview very shortly. We'll see if G-Man wants to as well.
Looks like they both want to join the interview. Zeus is gonna be here first with us. Cool, that's Pog. Not sure how to drag him in myself. Actually, I don't think I have to. I think Devious. GG's!
Right.
Welcome in,
Hello,
runners!
GG's.
Oh.
Heck of a first game there, back and forth, but it looked like you pretty much had your mojo down for game 2, Zeus.
Oh, man. Yeah. I mean, neither of those runs were particularly good for me, but I'll take the win.
Hey, G-Man, how you feeling about that set? Looked like you
So the first run, I was actually like on like a pretty solid run. I was like plus 10 out of HMC, and then I just decided to just go inside the HMC penny again because why not?
Yeah.
And then then Fire Sea happened. I don't know how I died there, but yeah, I guess. And then the second game was just really bad overall. I had the cannonless situation, lost like 40 seconds, and then just didn't play that well overall. But yeah, I wasn't really expecting to win in the first place because, you know, I was going against a 15 runner. I didn't really expect much. So I'm honestly surprised that I was like in the lead for the majority of the first race.
were you watching? Did you know like
I
how
was
much you had?
the whole time. I
Nice.
Oh man, yeah. I panicked a bit actually when I went into CCM. I was like, oh no, not again.
Yeah.
I saw that. I
Because
was like, oh my
this is
god, I have a
something that
chance.
this is something that happens every single time. It's like I don't think there's ever been a situation where I don't screw up LBLJ in my first race of a best of 3. So that one I was like, oh, for the love of God, again.
Yeah.
And then Dark World happened, and I was like, okay, this is GG.
Uh-huh.
And then when G-Man died in Fire Sea, I was like, I didn't even really notice until after I exited first, and I was like, oh,
Wait a second.
oh, thank God, I have a chance. The last thing I wanted to do was going into race 2 behind, because I tend to crumble under that kind of pressure. So
Yeah, that's
yeah,
kind of what happened to me
mm,
in that second race.
yeah, I'm gonna have to work on my 16 again though, because dude, I'm gonna get absolutely destroyed in the next round if I'm putting up times like that.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be tough in the bracket phase. We've got a lot of skilled gamers, of course, but I'll be excited to watch and commentate some of them, obviously.
Mm.
Well,
The Open is pretty pog. A lot of good matches coming up.
Yeah.
indeed. Well, with that, I think we're going to be wrapping up this Cool Cat Gang action for the day, but tomorrow is a very stacked day. We've got 3 SM64 matches right away in the morning. 11:30 is Cartoon Buffoon versus Cano. That's going to be an insane matchup. We've got a world record holder versus a very skilled N64 runner. And Cartoon making a recent return to the category, actually, from lots of ROM hacks. That 12:45, Finny versus Kudo. Another emulated group stage match. 2 p.m., another EMU group stage. And that's going to be Gman making his return for a second group stage match. Then after that, for the rest of the night, it's going to be SMO at 3:15. Jambo versus Speed, 4:30. Light Run versus Eek, and 5:45. The last match of Sunday night will be Triple versus Buster Doggy in the Any Percent League. So, should be some very, very hype matches tomorrow. Don't go anywhere. We can go somewhere now, eat some food, drink some water, but come back tomorrow at 11:30 a.m., of course.